Hello again. Chris Lee and Chase Robinson here to preview the Gasparilla Bowl, Florida versus Tulane, or something like that. You can see this game, 2:30 Central, ESPN2, Bet Online. As we're doing this, Thursday, December 12th. Bet Online's got Florida by 13, over-under of 15.5, making for a predicted final score of Florida 32, Tulane 19. My model has got Florida by 4 because this game is more like the shell of Florida and the shell of Tulane. Whatever numbers we'll throw at you, I don't know that you could take them with much, if any, degree of seriousness. This is where we are at with bowl games these days, but we'll do our best, Chase Robinson.
Yeah, I mean, we get into this time of the year, guys opting out, guys getting into the portal, and look, it's hard for us to even keep up with it. I don't think anybody's going to know actually who's on the roster except for the coaches as they're putting it together. I'm sure it's hard for them to figure out what's going on. So that's just the day and age we live in with the portal, with opt-outs and everything. So yeah, the numbers we give you, take them with a grain of salt. The information we give you, it could very well change. Keep that in mind too as we get closer to bowl times. But we're going to do our best to give you the best information on these bowl games. And I think this is a good matchup. Look, I'm a huge John Summerall fan, Tulane head coach. I think he's going to be in the SEC before it's all said and done in a few years. I think that's what kind of coach he is. He's doing a great job at Tulane, taking over a program that, again, was in good shape, and he's just continued to roll with it there. They have lost their last couple of games, including the American Conference Championship to Army, and look, we know Florida got on a roll there towards the end of the season, so I think it's a great matchup for Florida in their bowl game here in the Gasparilla Bowl.
Florida did indeed get on a roll after a 1-2 start. Billy Napier ends the season 7-5, including a beating of Florida State a couple of weeks ago now. Let's get into, I guess let's start with when Tulane's got the ball, because I think that's kind of the most interesting side. Look, the quarterback room. Their top 3 quarterbacks are in the transfer portal, although Ty Thompson, their backup, says he's going to play the bowl game. Daniel Mensah, or Darren Mensah, excuse me, who was maybe the top player in the transfer portal, has already landed at Duke. So that offense is going to look probably a lot different. Florida's secondary, no Jason Marshall Jr. He's done. Devin Moore, Jakeem Jackson, key secondary guys, they're out. I think they're out. Florida's had secondary injuries for a while and has played well in spite of it. It's got a pass rush we didn't really anticipate. Pup Howard hasn't played in a few weeks. Asa Turner hasn't played since September. There's a lot of dudes out on this side of the ball. I don't even know how to begin to know what to do here, but you have a try.
Yeah, when it comes to Florida defensively, Jack Pyburn and Justice Boone are going to play in this game, which I think is big. Those are been two of the key pieces on the edge for this defense. You got Bridges and Cam Jackson as well on the defense who are going to play in this game. They have chosen not to opt out, which I thought was good for Florida. You got defensive lineman Caleb Banks. He announced he was going to return for his senior season, and so he's going to be out there. So I think some good pieces for Florida will be on the field for this game, which I think is going to be big. And you mentioned for Tulane, I mean, Ty Thompson, Pete Thamel said he plans to enter the transfer portal, but he's going to play in this game. He's a dual threat guy. He runs the ball a lot, 243 yards, 6 touchdowns running. He's only thrown 11 passes this season, 6 for completion, a couple of touchdowns for like 74 yards. So we haven't seen him throw a lot, but he can run the football. He's 3rd in rushing on the team. And so I think that plays well into the hands of how Florida has been playing defensively, especially with those guys up front.
Before we flip sides of the matchup, reminder, BetOnline continues to be the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, BetOnline provides you with all the action and the ability to watch the games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, the NBA, college basketball, NHL, UFC, head to BetOnline today. Don't forget to use the promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, for your welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, the game starts here. Let's flip sides of the matchup, Chase Robinson. Tulane's defense was really good this year. We know about Florida's offense, the strange year it had. Florida injuries on this side of the ball. Graham Mertz, as you're watching this, you probably already knew he's been out for half the year. Tre Wilson, wide receiver, not going to play. Arlis Boardingham, really good tight end. He's in the portal. And then Tulane on the defensive side. I don't know that it's got as much out on defense as it's got on offense. Potential opt-outs. Kalen Renshaw's a guy, or excuse me, Kalen Renshaw got to watch. DJ Lagway has been really terrific for most of his freshman year. He's a player to watch, maybe going to be on your Heisman favorite list starting next year. Looking to see if Montreal Johnson's going to play. That'll be interesting. Don't know what you're finding on that one. He's listed as a potential opt-out along with Elijah Badger, one of their better receivers. What do we know about this side of the matchup? Who's playing, who's not playing? What does it mean?
Yeah, that's a big question. I've not seen anything as far as if Montreal Johnson is going to play or if he's not going to play. Nothing has been said on that. I'm assuming if nothing is said that he is planning to play, which I think would be great for Florida. But you're right, DJ Lagway has been terrific, and he's a playmaker. He's going to, I feel like, make plays no matter who's out there on the field. And this, again, this matchup is hard to see because we're still figuring out, who's in, who's out. I feel like Tulane, the last part of the season, has lacked a little bit defensively, which, again, I think plays well into the hands of Florida offensively, the way DJ Lagway has been playing. He's had a little bit of time the last couple of weeks. No games, rest up, be at your best, and I feel like that could be Florida in this bowl game.
Picks and why. I'll start with you, Chase.
Chris, I think back to first few weeks of the season, I didn't think we would be doing a prediction of the Florida Gators in a bowl game. But we are, because they have gotten really hot towards the end of the season, and they've been playing really good football and really inspired football. They didn't give up when things were hard on Billy Napier and things. They kept playing football. And so I think Florida wins this game. I think they've got the momentum. I think they've got enough of their players still in and bought into this and not opting out, that Florida's going to get a good win in a bowl game. And I think that's a lot to celebrate as a Florida fan.
Yeah.
Again, the way it started to where it is now is totally different. I love what I've seen from Billy Napier in Florida. I've got them winning this game over Tulane.
Yeah, we talked about this team before the season. We thought it was a quality team, and we said, hey, just getting to a bowl game at 6-6 feels like it's going to be an accomplishment. Florida got to a bowl game at 7-5, and it wasn't without adversity in between. At the quarterback position, Marshall, who's maybe their best defender. Before the season, we looked at their schedule, and the strength of schedule averaged out to playing Clemson on a neutral field every week. It was nutty. Now, I don't know that it ended up being quite that strong. Florida State wasn't what we thought Florida State would be. That had something to do with it. But still, it was a tough schedule. Hey, they got a lot of pieces missing, but so does Tulane. Tulane may have the best player in this game missing. With the Paul J's, the DJ Lagway, I don't know how you'd separate that argument. But the point I'm making is probably the most important player in this game is not playing. That's Mensah, Tulane. Florida, you've come this far. Why waste it?
Yep. You
got some momentum. I'll give Florida with the win. I'll go with Florida with the win here. We'll be here to wrap up a lot of these bowl games. Not going to release the schedule yet because of holiday travel and stuff for families involved on our end. But we will be here to talk about these games later. Hope you'll catch them on our channel, Southeastern 16. For Chase Robinson, I'm Chris Lee. You've been watching Southeastern 16 presented by BetOnline.